and then she would describe how she does it and everything. And the interview just took off that way.
Well, let me ask you this. Why would you have Tiffany on your show other than to make like fun of her? And
My producer. Welcome to the first Flawless State YouTube live debate. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for being with me. It is amazing. So listen, we're going to take your questions and comments for my guests, or for me if you have some, and we just want to have a good time. I have with me two people that are not afraid to tell the truth. I have with me Tommy Sotomayor. He's a radio talk show host, an activist, and YouTube star. This is Tommy. Tommy, thank you for coming, man.
No problem, but you overstated the case. I'm not a star.
Oh, yeah? Well, it has star here.
Oh, that's wrong. No, just a dude that put up the knives.
Also have with me Luenell.
Who is a star?
And Luenell is a star, a comedian, actress, and singer. You sing?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Not as much as I used to.
You know, I remember you in the, those two white guys that dressed in black, and it was a musical. What was that show called? It was a long time ago, though.
Two white guys that dressed up as black people?
And they, dressed in black, and they were music.
The Blues Brothers?
Yeah, the Blues Brothers.
That was Aretha Franklin.
You weren't in that? Oh, yeah. Sorry. They all look alike to me.
Well, Aretha and I have been said to look alike, and I never thought.
I appreciate you coming. I've had Luenell.
I'm sorry you couldn't get Aretha Franklin.
I know. Where is she? I had Luenell on my radio show before. It was something else, more than a notion. So I want to get rolling here. First, let me ask, Luenell, are you a Christian?
Everybody would have made me drop my too. The Lord busy up in here.
Well, define Christian.
No, just tell me, are you one or not?
No, just define it for
I don't
me.
have a definition for it.
I don't have an answer for you.
So that means you're not, or you don't know?
That means I didn't answer the question.
Are you not going to answer that?
I probably ain't.
You're probably not going to answer?
Right.
How about you? Are you a Christian?
Well, I kind of like that idea. You'd have to describe it to let me know if I'm that, because I don't want to say that I'm something that you can't tell me what it is.
But if you guys were Christian, you wouldn't have to describe it, define it.
I hate that explanation.
Why is that?
What you just said was, well, if you are this, then you would know what it is,
right.
Or you would be it.
Isn't that true?
I don't know. There's a lot of things that I've been in life and I didn't know what it was, like a megalomaniac. I didn't know what that was.
Oh, okay.
But I've been described as that.
I think I'm one of those.
So you don't want to answer that either?
Oh, I don't think that. I can honestly say I'm not a Christian. No.
You're not?
No.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to also tell you guys, Happy White History Month. July is White History Month, and
Well,
this is
all
the
the
first.
months are White History Month.
And why you say that?
Because that's all you're taught in school.
That all months are White History Month?
All months are White History Month. If they were not, there would not have a need to be a Black History Month, because they're all white.
So you were taught in school that all months are White History Month?
I wasn't taught it, but I found it out.
Figured it out.
How did you find that out?
Well, I just explained to you. Because if it weren't, then there would be no need to specify a Black History Month unless they were all white. You understand?
Amazing. And are you celebrating White History Month this month?
What
July?
would this celebration consist of?
It was appreciating what white people have done to create the greatest country on this side of heaven, and to recognize that and appreciate it.
Well, then Luenell was correct. We've been celebrating that our whole lives.
You've been celebrating White History Month?
Yeah, every month you learn something about some white person in history that achieved something, and you would celebrate it. Look at the calendar.
And so were you taught that in school?
No, like she said, it's common sense after a while when you start to realize you have to specify dates for these other people, then that must mean everything else.
So you agree with Luenell that Black history is there because white history is every month?
Yeah, pretty much. You look on any calendar, you look for anybody you celebrate, what color are they?
Who did you celebrate white last month?
Oh, I try not to celebrate them like that. They celebrate themselves. If you're a Cleveland Brown fan, you don't go around just celebrating the Patriots. You lose all the time.
And so did this country celebrate white history last month? A white person last month?
I'm assuming they did. I just wasn't looking. I don't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, so I don't celebrate any of this other stuff. So I surely wouldn't know anything about
Do you
Columbus.
celebrate?
How
Do
did-
you
Yeah, what'd you do?
celebrate?
So we need those from you.
How did
But first,
you
let me
celebrate
ask:
White
did you
History
celebrate?
Month? Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll come to you in a minute. Hold
Moderator.
on. Hold on.
Okay.
Did you celebrate? You say you don't celebrate Christmas or any of that stuff?
No.
And
Well, Christmas is a pagan holiday. You shouldn't either if you was a Christian.
But you're not a Christian.
No, I said you shouldn't either if you're not a Christian.
Why
if
not?
You are a Christian. Because it's pagan.
But for Christians, it's about Christ, not about paganism.
Yeah, but you co-opted a pagan holiday.
Right, and I have fun at Christmas. I leave my fireplace open so Santa can come down and bring me toys and everything.
So you just let a white man up in your house.
That's
you don't
right.
know him like that.
That's right.
Why
Midnight.
not? He lets white women up in there.
So let me ask Luenell, what was your question for me?
I was just going to ask you, how did you celebrate White History Month?
That's a
last
good
month?
question. We started White History Month this year, July.
Who was we?
Who?
I did.
Oh,
And,
you did?
Yeah.
And your white colleagues?
Everybody, the blacks and the whites ones too. And it's just been amazing.
Not everybody.
No, yeah.
No, not everybody.
Well, not everybody, but
But
from
you gotta be
around the
careful what you
world.
say.
Let me tell you why and how.
Your little,
Let me tell you why and how. I started White History Month because, as I said, if it wasn't for white Americans, there would be no America.
right, because
so,
who would
hold
they
on,
murder
hold
to
on.
get everything?
Hold on.
And you're
Let me tell you
absolutely
why.
right.
Let me tell you why. And we have so-called Black History Month, Mexican History Month, Women
There's no
History
such
Month.
thing as Mexican history.
Women, we have Homosexual History
There's
Month.
no such thing as homosexual history month.
I would love to
June.
see that month. I
Let me
want to
just
see.
say-
June.
let me
June is
just say-
Homosexual History Month.
Let
You
me
don't know
just
that?
say,
No, you making stuff up.
Tommy,
So you don't know that June?
No, this
you don't
just
know that
exists.
either?
may I speak?
Do you know that
May I
June is
speak?
Homosexual Month?
You know, today I saw 3 white men steal a shark from an aquarium. That is because white people think everything belongs to them. Because
Amazing.
they took everything. So if you choose to celebrate that, we live with it. So there's no need to, that would be like trying to celebrate the grass that's there every day. Or celebrate the sun that comes up every day. It's there every day. There's no need to celebrate white any damn thing.
So let me finish why. And so I noticed that whenever white history is spoken of, you speak of white, it's such a negative thing, and
You notice
white
that
people
it don't
hate
go,
it.
it don't stay.
White people hated by people of color. And so I think that if we let that happen, we're going to lose the appreciation for this country. And we all know that if people of color take over, it's gone. The country's over.
Did you have
will
a
become a
parade
ghetto.
at your celebration for
We
white?
didn't have, what we did was we had one of my reporters do a special report on the success of a white person. And then there were people calling in and emailing and us from around the world.
And saying thank you.
Right.
What'd you do, like 31 Days of Whiteness?
Yes,
White out?
yes.
Okay, why didn't you pick like December or January?
That's a good question.
When the
because
whiteness is
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
ground.
You would have. The people would have went with
That'd
the
have been more
atmosphere.
appropriate.
it was widely received. And the reason we picked July because July just feel white.
No.
You know, you have the 4th of July, it's summertime.
July is
it's
all color.
vacation
You got
time.
trees,
It's all
the sun.
kind, but that's why we picked
You
July.
gotta pick a winter month.
That's
As
why.
Winter
you can
month is
see,
white.
ladies and gentlemen, this debate is slowly going to hell in a handbasket.
But
Let's
it's
start
degraded.
again.
It is
Next-
You're
degraded.
gonna
It
ask
is-
a question.
Hold on.
He'll ask a question.
Next
and we're
year-
gonna talk about that.
next year you
But he
guys
like
are-
to talk about
We're
himself,
gonna
too.
celebrate
Next
with
year,
you.
you guys to
That's right.
celebrate with us. So I want to get into, there's a battle between men and women, and especially liberal women hating men. And do you agree that there is a warfare going on between men and women?
I sort of do, because it's been designed that way, and so it worked.
And who designed it, and why?
Well, I believe that the powers that be back, this is a 30-year disaster in the making. And when music and arts and things were taken out of school, and I lived in Oakland, the drugs were dropped down, the families were losing things, welfare was rampant between the white and the black community, and the only way you could get it is if you didn't have a man in the house. When that started happening, women got their hustle on and had to be more independent. With that independence, you lose some femininity, I believe. And so there comes the attitude of, I don't need your ass, because you don't. Because they don't want you to have a family. Their powers to be. They want it to be warfare between the brothers and the sisters, the men and the women, the whites and blacks, everything. This is all part of the big plan. And unfortunately, now we have the Dr. Evil of Austin Powers sitting in the White House, and he has helped. He's the wizard. He's the Wizard of Oz, and everybody is up in Oz going crazy, and he's just stirring the pot for more racial disharmony, more hatred amongst our own race, more trash between men and women. It's the crumbling of a nation right before our very eyes. So yes, I believe that.
Amazing. Do you believe there's a warfare between men and women today?
Yes, because there's a war on masculinity.
And who started this and why?
That would be the liberal agenda, because once you destroy families, which I agree with everything Luenell said at the beginning, once you destroy families, then the number one protector of liberty, in my opinion, is families.
Right.
Because it makes it difficult for the state to come in and infiltrate the families. Well, once you break up the family, who becomes the daddy? I have a thing on my show, I call it the white daddy. You turn to the government. Your white daddy comes in and take care of you. You don't need your black man anymore. You don't need your family anymore. There was a time in which we had families at a greater rate than white people did. So what happened? Your Great Society. Who instituted Great Society? Liberals. Liberals continue to push a war between men and women.
And when you say liberal, are these black and white liberals?
Yes.
Yeah.
I talked about it last night on my show. We got a Me Too movement. But yet 3 out of 4 black girls before the age of 18 have been molested or raped. But that Me Too movement doesn't exist. You watch what happened with the whole R. Kelly and Charlemagne the God. Even other black women turned against those young girls who were violated in protection of the men. Why is that? Because if those were 2 young white girls that had even made the accusation towards those men, you think those men would have made it? Yeah, immediately.
Why are men so hated?
Well, again, if the state can remove the men from the house.
I know, but there is it's more than just that. Men today are
They're the
hated.
last protectors.
Do you feel hated as a man in society today?
Well, I don't feel it because I don't care that they hate us.
You should feel it.
No, I don't feel it, but
it's there.
But men,
But people hate you.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter. That's their problem. But I know that men are hated.
Yeah, I read your Instagram post. You pretty hated.
And why?
I don't see how you don't feel that. Just read it.
I literally don't feel it. And why are men so hated?
Because we're the last protectors of the home, and if you get rid of them, then it's easy for the government to come in and run. Look, I have a cat. My cat depends on me for food and water.
Yeah.
She looks forward to me to bring her food and water. If I threw her
Mine
outside,
too.
and if you throw them outside, they probably couldn't exist.
Don't you, kitty cat?
Amazing.
If it purr them out. But I
It does.
if you look at the way my cat works, if I put her outside, she'd come to that door and scratch, scratch, scratch. She's not an outside cat.
Right.
And the same thing with coyotes. I'm out there, when you anywhere in the desert, you feed a coyote, it'll keep coming back. What they did was decided to remove the man and feed the woman.
Right.
The woman comes back every time. She will push that man to the side because she knows that's guaranteed food. I did a story a little while ago, and it was all black women, and it was really sad. The government shut down for like 3 days. Well, the food stamps didn't come in. They were only 3 days late. 3 days that you didn't prepare for 3 days over. And they did it on purpose because, of course, they showed it on the news. And it was nothing but black women saying, "Where's my food stamp?" They was about to tear the place up. And it goes to show the difference between like men and women. When you have a man in the household, that man knows and thinks to store for bad times.
Yeah.
Well, once you take that man out of the household and you let those women, even when those women are raising those boys, they're not teaching them to store. They're teaching them to wait for it to be given to them.
Yeah. Luenell, do you agree that men, what's the difference between men and women? Other than the body part.
I was about to say.
Yeah, other than the body part. What's the difference? Well, what is a man first? What is a man?
In my opinion, I'm not speaking for nobody else out there. I'm not speaking, if I am, it's a blessing. In my opinion, a man is many different things. Is it a single man? Is it a married man? Are we talking about a gay man? Are we talking about a straight man? You know, there's many different men, so men are many different things. I don't think it would really be right for me to define what a man is, because at times the person you thought was a man turned out to be a bitch, and the bitch you thought was a bitch turned out to be the man.
What is a man?
It's such a generic or general question, because I think one of the worst parts of society is that we allow people who aren't men to define masculinity or define what a man is. Normally,
You see, I didn't even try.
That's why I wanted to clap, because in our community we have a whole lot of women saying you're not a man, and their definition of what a man is usually not what a man is. So it's very hard to define it, because they come in different shapes, shades, attitudes, and yet they're still men. And I guess if you wanted to break it down or boil it down to someone, a protector, a provider, I don't know, just as a man, your job is to keep family, if you have one, or even help families if you're not in that family. I think if we just had a simple want to provide and protect, that to me.
Do you agree with Luenell that a man can be many different things?
Yes.
You do. And why would you agree with that?
Because no two people are the same, and someone's idea of what a man or masculinity could be completely different. It's just like with a family. I interviewed for my movie a man who was talking about it, because the movie's called A Fatherless America. And he was like, well, I'm actually the stay-at-home dad. He said, I get my kids up in the morning. He said, I cook, not clean. He said,
He
my
stay
wife
at home
does
while his wife
his wife works.
Is that a man?
Yes, if that's what his role is.
But
'cause
do you see that as a man? A man that would stay home and take the woman's role, is that a man?
Is that the woman's role when she makes more money and her career is
But I'm
better
asking
than his?
you two are the experts. Is that a man that would stay home and take
Well,
the
then yes.
woman's role?
I don't call that a woman's role. I call that their household role. Just like I believe if one man can marry 3 women and those 3 women are okay with it, why am I to say that's wrong?
So you personally believe that a man that stays home and sends his wife off to work is a man? A male that stays home and sends his wife off to work is a man? You personally believe that that's a man?
You personally don't accept my answers when I give them.
No, I'm asking you. Do you personally believe
Yes,
that?
look, I said the
I'm
man
surprised
is
that you believe that.
No, because a man is different
I'm
things.
stunned.
I believe that if your household works, I think that's one of the reasons why families and houses don't work, is because you have too many outside people telling you what you're doing in your house isn't right.
And trying to define what a man is.
Exactly.
Would you stay home and send your wife off to work?
I stay home now.
No, if you had a wife, would you stay home and send your wife off to work?
Yes.
You would.
I surely would. Now, if she didn't have to, then no. But
No, I'm saying, would you do it?
If she didn't have to, no.
What do you mean if she didn't have to?
If I'm making the money already, she doesn't have to, no. But I know I talk to a lot of career-oriented women who are like, I don't want to just sit at home. I like my job. You can't have I got 2 girls. So I wouldn't want my little girls to grow up, go to school, get their career started, and then because they get a husband or a boyfriend, they now have to nix that to sit in the house and cook and clean.
That's amazing. I'm surprised to hear you say this.
Why would they go to
How
school
about
and
you?
do all that
Would you
stuff?
want to marry a man and then he stay home and you go to work?
In my situation, being an entertainer, that's what it is. My husband is at home and was at home with my child while I was on the road. I could take him sometime, couldn't take him all the time. Was making enough money to where other little money he made, we put it together, that's what it was. My niece is married to a man who was on her 3rd baby in 3 years. He had a gym. He sold his gym. She liked her job. She wanted to get out of the house with them goddamn kids, and she made money. So she is working. He is at home. If that makes him a bitch, God bless every bitch out there. Okay?
Amazing. What is a woman?
A woman is the backbone to the man. And makes him better and stands by his side and loves life and takes care of herself and takes care of her family and you know, just like you can't really describe what a man is, it's hard to describe what a woman is because we're so many things. We are not men, however, you know. A lot of women say, well, I was the mama and the daddy. Well, you can't be unless you taught him how to take care of his balls, unless you taught him how to shave. Yes, you can take, you can't be the man, you can't be, baby. You can only be the best mom you can be. But that don't mean just get any fool out the street to be a daddy to your kid, you know.
What is a woman?
36, double D, 24, 40.
Goddamn, wait a minute, 36, 40, 53, am I close?
Anything over there, that's it. That's the cutoff line. Well, that's the cutoff line. If you go
Okay,
above it, you do it. You do it.
cutoff,
You're doing
I'm
good.
still in
That's
there.
right. Yeah, that's right. But no. I love her explanation as far as the idea of being there and being the support system for that man that you believe
Why
a man
not?
is.
Why not?
You believe a man is supposed to be out there working and bringing home the bacon. So you need that support. You need someone that makes you want to run through that wall and come home and get your bruises rubbed and things like that. So I think that
yes.
idea of a woman is the softer side of that man, the conscience of that man, so to speak. If you take a man and you put him out there, he's like a bull in a china shop. That woman is like that calming influence on that man.
Or not,
Amazing.
because some men actually appreciate a foot in their ass, for real. You know, everybody talks about the aggressive black woman, You'd be surprised. You're a man. You don't know what men do when they react to a woman. You only know how you personally react within women and maybe your friends. But there's millions of men out there who really appreciate, you know, men, it's almost like a hobby for men to get together and bitch about their wives. But then they run straight home because they love that shit. You know, she keeps me fucking straight. I would stray motherfucker. She keeps in my ass and she makes me do the right thing and I feel better for it and I know that's the right thing to do. I just need a little, so you know what I mean? Some men are like that. And for those men, I want to say thank you as well. Hey, honey.
Is it all right to be cursing on this thing here? I don't know. What the rules
I think
are.
it's too late to ask
I
that
know,
question.
And
Tell
you
me.
should have said that to me as the
Is
guest.
it all right to be cursing on this thing?
How long you been doing this show? This is the first
Well, this-
one you said?
Huh?
I cuss on mine.
So let me ask,
Beliefs are really funny,
do
though.
you agree with Luenell that the woman is the backbone of the man?
Yeah, and it's a fluid thing because
You
I
said
do.
yes?
Well, yes, as far
mean,
as
you know.
because it's a fluid thing, meaning I just
Tommy,
think a
you're
woman.
shocking me today.
I just think a woman.
Tommy is shocking me today.
My charm has turned
There's something has happened here.
It's your carpet, but but
So
here's
the
what I believe.
woman
I believe
is the
a woman is
backbone
fluid.
of the man.
No, I believe it's a fluid thing, meaning, like she said, there are times in which there are a lot of men who need that woman to be aggressive and push them. But a lot of men, like I think I'm one of them. When I'm in a relationship, that woman helps me become better. Because when I'm by myself, the last girl I dated seriously, I never got up and made up the bed. I was slovenly. I was just pretty disgusting.
That's me.
But after I was with her for a while, she had me getting up, making up the bed because she couldn't get in the bed. And she said, I refuse to get in that bed if it's not made up. So next thing I know, I was doing some of the things that I never thought of doing. Or you feel like this, I need to do this because I now have more than just me.
So she made you start doing the woman's work in the home?
No, just some things that made me better as a person even when we broke up.
How did making a bed make you better?
Because I wasn't so sloppy and nasty. It would be times where the bed would be...
However, I don't give a fuck if the bed ever gets made up. We're getting right back in it. What's the point? That's anal. I mean, it looks pretty if you got company coming over, but we never make up the bed unless we're getting ready to go out of town and you want to come home and you have a nice bed.
Yeah, but Luenell, it got pretty bad with me. I wasn't changing sheets between partners. And you brought the black light over my bed, boy, it's shocking to death.
Look like
Amazing.
forensic file.
So you were a nasty person before?
Yes, I was, and it took somebody.
Okay, well, thank
See,
God for your girl.
See, it took somebody to tell me
Because
you can't
that's
keep leaving
fucking
these stains in here.
disgusting.
I didn't make those.
Were you raised that way? How did you
Actually, I
become
was raised like
No, you wasn't raised like that.
I was raised like this. Men don't do certain things, and so there's certain things I just didn't. I didn't know
But
how to
they
make a
still
bed
taught
because
you to
men
be
don't.
clean.
alone.
I learned how to do everything.
But
that's what's bad
common
about that.
sense
I had to
would
learn that
say-
stuff as an adult because now I'm alone and I never made up a bed. I
Right.
never washed a dish, and now I don't think that's healthy for any human being.
So
to
while
not
you
know
were
those
growing
signs.
Wash your
up,
dishes
while
in the
growing up,
hell.
your mother or grandmother never taught you to
They said
be
it's woman's
clean.
work.
So they didn't teach you to be clean just in case you didn't get married or something?
No, they just said that's a woman's job.
Really? That's amazing.
I would just throw my clothes on the floor.
And
When
so
I
you-
got home, they were gone.
You believe that the woman is the backbone of the man.
Well, I guess when you describe the idea of a backbone, like I don't know, the head is controls everything, and in your religion, isn't the man the head?
Right.
So wouldn't you agree that the woman is kind of like the backbone of that head?
No
Okay, I
way.
want to hear your explanation. Just what I know.
There is a spiritual order to life, and that order is God in Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, and woman over children. God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man is the head of the woman, and the woman over the children. The love comes from above down. And so the man is the backbone of the woman. That's why when women don't have men, they go out of control.
So if the man is the backbone of the woman, what's the woman like, the pelvis?
She is the help maker.
She got to be
Yeah.
below him, though, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so she's like the pelvis.
And that's and I'm sure you would agree, being with a man that love was right, and he's over you, that would make you happy, wouldn't it?
Well, I think that your over you and my over you might be two different things.
In what way?
Well, the only way that I like a man over me is when I respect you so much that even I know how far to go, and then you can say something or you look and I will pull back. I think that is like being the head over me. Somebody that will, and my husband has that before I married him. He can shut me down without being abusive or without being, you just know how far to go and then that's it. But I think that your description of a man being over his woman would be very domineering, my way or the highway, you ain't got no input, you're sort of like my slave, and you will take care of these kids, and stay barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and I'm gonna go out and make this cheese, and I might fuck a bitch or two, and then I'm gonna come back and still be there and don't say shit. That's what
You're
I
totally
think about
wrong.
you.
A real man doesn't think that way at all.
well, then tell
because
me.
a real man love was right. He love was right with all his heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else. So he's guided by that. He's guided by perfect love. And so it's his Father Spirit.
Yeah, break this shit down into layman's terms.
It's-
Said all that.
It's his
Talk
Father.
like I just talked.
It's his Father's Spirit that lives in him, and he's
What
living
that
from
mean
that,
in the house?
which is perfect love.
What that mean in the house?
That the wife's gonna love a man like that, and she's gonna love being a woman and being a wife, and he's gonna love being a man and being a husband because they both love what's right. So she liked that order,
Okay.
and so you don't have that kind of battle going on. You have
What
this
kind of
agreement
battle?
where the woman's fighting the man to be the woman.
I don't know. I don't know
and all that,
What
fighting
do you
against
mean
him.
then when you're saying over? Because like your
The
explanation is kind of general.
He's
He's
the
high.
head.
I think he's high.
He's the head of his wife as Christ is the head of him.
Okay. Well, if you ask me, I kind of would run a household different than that because again,
But see, he
I'm
ain't said how he run a household.
That's all I'm
I
looking
said-
for.
You
I
would
said,
even
what does that mean
stay
in the
home.
house? What does that
You
mean
would
in the house?
even stay home and let the woman go to work.
I sure would.
I'm sure your viewers, the supporters, gonna be starting to hear that.
They would not. They know I believe in a partnership in a relationship.
Oh,
So
maybe because
whatever
you're not
works-
a Christian.
Or maybe because I'm not worth a damn, and that's why I'm not with anybody anyway. And you can't ask the man who can't keep a relationship longer than 2 months how to run a relationship. I need help in that department.
Why can't you keep a
I wish
relationship?
I wasn't married. I might would have helped you in that.
Give me some of that.
Why can't you keep a relationship longer than 2 months?
Probably because I can't keep my Johnson in its holster.
You a hoe.
Yeah, I'm a big one.
Really?
Yes,
I mean-
I like variety. Like when I go to Baskin Robbins, I want all 31 flavors.
Me too.
Amazing.
See?
What is the attitude of most black women today?
Oh, that's a hard one to say because you'll get a lot of people mad. Sherry Shepherd was on an interview with the Breakfast Club. And for approximately 1:30 she spoke about her son and his dating habits. And he's only 12 and he's not like dating.
And he's autistic.
Yeah, so People don't like people like that. They're drawing all the time. Oh, you said autistic. Never mind. But the point is, the point is, he stated that the black girls were mean. Now, people don't understand, this has been pervasive for about 30 years. This thought is not new. And yet the people who hear that don't try to change it. Like I've heard for weave and stuff, black women say, well, we have to compete. Y'all like girls with this kind of hair, so we put this kind of hair in our heads so we can compete. And I'm thinking, but the biggest complaint about black women is not the hair, it's their attitude. But then when it comes to your attitude, you say, you got to deal with this. I'm a strong, independent woman. And whenever you got to use the word strong, then you have to ask the person, well, what does strong mean? Kind of like when you were saying over.
You chose the bitch though.
No, well, that's why.
But you chose her.
No, but that's why.
If you thought she was independent, you know, you could have stepped on. See, you got.
Oh, see, I don't do that though.
A lot of y'all pick these bitches. There was a bitch when you picked them. There was a bitch when you got them, and you wonder why they.
You know why they do it though? You know why the majority of these men will do it?
Well, because they bitches.
No, let me explain to you. See, if you grew up in a house with a domineering female,
it
became normal.
Right.
So that boy thought it was normal to hear his woman be like, sit your black ass down and talk to people like that. But that bitched him out.
Will you admit that?
Well, yes. But that's why a lot of. But see, the thing that hurts me though is that black women know that's not a good thing for a man. Because as soon as they start dating outside of their race, i.e. Eve, i.e. any black woman who was the pit bull in the skirt while she was dating black men, as soon as she got her white man, she became dapper, prim, and proper. There's a book out right now where a black woman wrote the book. Do you know what it's the top 10 ways to get a white man? First off, if a black man wrote a book like this about getting a white woman, he'd be called a coon, a sellout. Yeah. They shut that book down.
So let me ask again, what is the attitude of
You don't need 10 ways to get a white woman. You only need one.
What is the attitude of most black women, in your personal opinion?
In my personal opinion today, it's just combative, because if you're dealing with a group of people who've been abandoned. I talked about 3/4 of them being touched and raped.
Who abandoned them?
I'd say the mothers, because I think the number one job of the mother is to make sure that she has kids by a man worth a damn. That's the number one job you have if you're a woman. You do not lay down and just have kids by somebody that ain't shit, and then you go around telling the world he ain't that, but you picked him. That's the worst thing you can do. Yes.
And so let me repeat. I'm slow and black, and I'm missing it.
All right.
Tell me, in your opinion, what is the attitude of most black women today?
I didn't say that. I said combative.
Combative meaning what?
I know you ain't trying to break nobody's word down when you be giving me general words.
But do you notice how on you he is?
Right.
Like I'm over here.
I'm coming to you in a minute. Meaning that when you say combative, meaning that they always fighting with you?
I think, like, in my opinion, there's a whole lot of I don't need you, I can do without you, because once the government stepped in again, that made the man weak. And the one thing a woman does not respect is a weak man.
Yeah.
And the majority of these men, I'm from Atlanta, that's the home of the kept man.
Are you strong or weak?
It's according to what week it is if I'm strong.
So some week you're weak and some weeks you're strong?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the human frailty. It's the human frailty. Not all the time can we be strong. That's the purpose of being in a relationship. Because on this day, I'm not strong, and that's when that person was there to pick me up.
That's amazing. What is the attitude of most black women?
I can't speak for most black women. I would never try to do that.
What is the attitude of most black women?
I can't answer that.
How about the black women you know?
What's the attitude of them?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of them are lonely, you know, and would desire companionship. You know, on what terms, I don't know, because some of them are kind of quirky and everybody's got their, but I think there's a lot of broken, sad, lonely, good women out there that just would really just move heaven and earth if a guy came along and just treated them with respect and honored them and exalted them for the queens that they are and accepted them for whatever faults they have and could see beyond the outside bullshit. And I think that there's so many women out there that could be great women for great men, but there's a lot of variables.
But a lot of
Are you young enough? Are you light-skinned enough? Is your hair long enough? Is your booty big enough? Is your waist tight enough? Is your titties new? Is your teeth straight? Do you have bags? Do you strip? There's so many variables that get distract from what a really good woman is these days anyway.
But most men can't deal with these women because they want to be men or act like men, and they have bad attitudes, so a lot of men are just not dealing with them.
Well, I told you a lot of that comes from being systematically being made to be alone for so many years. And then and I told you lose a little bit of your femininity when you have to hustle that hard and stuff like that. I'm from Oakland. I know about that. So then, even if a good guy comes, sometimes the women are so in their shit that they can't really appreciate a good guy. He's great, he make money, he good in bed, but his teeth ain't straight. He got a nice car, he got a good job, but I don't like his baby mama. You know, everybody gonna come with some shit, you know, everybody.
Amazing.
And so you just gotta see.
I think it's hard for us to have real relationships, though, as black people, because we don't know what it's like to have. Our idea of good is skewed now. As she said, it's skewed to the point of where good for me is she got a big butt, she got big breasts, and her Instagram be popping. Like, that's good, and it's stupid, because as soon as you get with, and the same with the women will walk past a good man because how did they ever see one? They didn't see one in the house, they didn't see their mama in a stable relationship. So their idea of good became what mama was doing. Yeah. Their idea of good became the men that she was bringing in.
The woman that could be the queen for you might work at the grocery store and not even have an Instagram. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why it's like we've got to, you know, post whatever, do whatever. But when it comes to picking your mate, there's still something to be said for that old 1-2 chemistry that you feel when you meet somebody. Not because they got 8 million motherfucking Instagram.
But we have to.
Do you want that dirty bitch any goddamn way?
But we have to be taught that. You have to understand. I was talking to a couple of girls, and these women both had children. They both were under 25, and they didn't have a man, and they were out prostituting. And they said to me, and it's live on air, they were saying, having kids after 25 is too old. They said they had their kids young, and they have no problem prostituting right now to take care of their kids. And I think one of the problems, different than what you said, is we give women today too much leeway. They can come with children. You don't care. Used to be a time where a woman who had kids when you got with her, especially if she was 23, you didn't do that. Now
all the hoes are winning.
Thank you.
All the hoes are winning. And the good women are sitting by the wayside going, what the fuck? I didn't have no kid. I maybe bought a house, maybe still renting. Looking to buy a house with my mate someday, maybe. I have a nice car. I don't ask somebody for shit. I like to have fun. I want to go on cruises. Got a little money. If my man didn't have a lot of money, then, you know, whatever, it's all good. Those women are being passed by because this bitch got fucking, you know, a great body. And what is that at the end of the fucking day? This hoe can't cook, ain't cooking, don't clean, won't clean.
Not loyal.
Not loyal. Well, fuck your friend to do the same thing. These people on these reality shows, they're all screwing each other. It's like disgusting. Like, out of all the millions of people, you want to screw the bitch on this show and then this show. I don't understand. And then you get infiltrated with that every day. And this is what a bad bitch is. This is what a bad bitch is. The little fat bitch at the grocery store might be the best woman you could.
I want to get to politics, but my final
he ain't
question.
Listening to us, neither one of them.
My final, because I'm looking at the clock here.
Shit, you was the one late.
My final question.
He was late, by the way, y'all.
No, I wasn't late.
Late
no,
I
was not late.
Calling it out. Sorry.
Listen, let me tell you. Let me
15 minutes.
Come back. Let me ask you this.
Am I lying?
No, I was not late. I was right next door there in the studio.
If you on time, you late.
No, I was on time.
If you on time, you're late.
But let me ask you this. Do you agree with me that most black men and women are angry?
Oh, yeah, and have a right to be.
And where did that anger come from?
It came from year after year after year of being told you ain't shit. Year after year after year of dealing with prejudice in some way at some point in the day, even if it's just somebody cutting you off and saying, fuck you. It comes from year after year after year of seeing your friends pass away and families break up. And it just comes from year after year being taught about the atrocities that was put upon us, the rapes, the murders, the breaking up of the families. It comes from that. And we never healed from that. And we ain't healed from that. And now it's all opened up and they're pouring salt all in it right now.
Who told them that they ain't nothing?
Them.
Yeah. Who told
Us,
the blacks?
brother. Us.
But who told y'all that? No one told me that.
Us.
Who told you that?
You're lying, first of all.
No one told me that.
No, you're lying.
Who told you that you're not
let me tell
nothing?
you.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you? Go outside, Jesse Lee Peterson, get pulled over by the police. You can get beat down too. You can get shot and killed too. You can get murdered in the street. You can become a statistic just like any other brother out here selling dope or anything. So if ain't nobody told you, let me tell you.
So the police told them that?
Huh?
Did the police tell them they ain't nothing?
Them who?
The blacks that are angry.
Society. I'll just put it like that because I'm not getting in this with you. You play games.
Do you agree with me that most black men and women are angry?
Yes.
And where does that anger come from? Where did it start?
Well, once you say start,
Where did it come from?
then I'm going to have to go where she was, and then I'll veer a little bit left. But it started when you have a group of people telling you constantly you're nothing. You can't discount what happened in America with black people. You literally can't
So
discount
you're
that.
saying that black anger started with white people telling them that they were nothing?
Well, because I don't know
When you
any
say
white
group-
American, because you're talking about
When you say a
American
group
blacks,
of
aren't
people,
you?
who are you referring to?
Well, I'm asking, aren't you talking about American blacks?
Yes.
Well, then yes, that's where it was started from.
Whitey, just say it. Whitey, the white
who
man.
told white?
The people who brought them here and enslaved them. That's kind of
Whitey,
a start.
that's whitey.
Yeah, that's not a good start. You can't
So-
bring people.
So let's go back to my question. You said it started with them telling blacks. Who told blacks?
I
that
didn't say
were
what they
nothing?
were telling them. I said I was treating them. You don't have to take. Look, my dog doesn't understand me at all. I guarantee you, Peter would come if I was taking my dog
Let's
every
start
day
over
because they
again.
understand.
Let me start over
Peter.
again with you. So you agree with me that most black people are angry. Men
Yes.
and women are angry. Where did
When
it
you
start?
say where it started, that's what I'm going to say. In America, they were brought here as not even people. They were brought here as animals. So you cannot have that person that you treat
Not
as an
they.
animal.
And so-
we.
Well, I wasn't brought here.
We, as
I was born
people,
here.
were brought here as animals.
Well-
we.
Well, once you have
Right,
that
that's-
situation, though, then you can't look at those people and be like, well, you're uncivil. You weren't treating me like I was civil.
So who
And
caused
still
them?
don't.
Who caused them to become angry? It started with whom? You're not saying who they are.
Well, I would assume that you were talking about the
No, I
Arabs.
just asked a question.
No, I'm saying, so the Arabs who
Let me
brought
get
them here
no.
mistreated
Who
them.
caused blacks to become angry?
The Arabs who brought them here mistreated them. The whites who bought them mistreated them. Literally, then they started making each other mistreat them. And that's where we are today. Because now it's a cycle to where there's nobody on the outside doing it to us. Now we're doing it to us.
And so that's what. So blacks became angry because of slavery.
No, I'm not saying it was specifically because of slavery. I'm saying you asked the question
You're
where
saying
it
that
started.
black men and women became angry because the way they were treated in slavery.
I think it became a self-fulfilling prophecy, and now we just treat ourselves that way.
Amazing.
Well, think about it. We wake up
That
every
is
day.
like
Who is killing black
amazing.
people more than anybody else? Black people. Where'd they get it from, though? When you have a society that tells you kill a black person, it's no big deal, then when you got angry people, they want to take that anger out on someone, and the easiest people for them to do it is each other. In Chicago, 8 out of 10 murders don't go solved. You think they let that go down in Beverly Hills? No.
I say that
Black lives don't matter.
I say that
Not Black Lives Matter. They don't.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest people that don't matter to is to us. Because before we go to
I
someone
wouldn't
else.
say all that.
Well-
I wouldn't say. We definitely have a percentage of self-hate, black on black crime.
We got a large percentage.
Yeah,
of it.
but I wouldn't say majority, because you know, you talking about between what years? Because we can never do to us what's already been done to us.
I think we can. We're doing a pretty good job of it now.
It's a problem. It's a problem for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. We have to address that first. We have to address the home problem before we address someone else. Like,
well, it's all in conjunction.
Yeah,
as far
I
as
say
anger
that
goes.
I say that black anger comes from black mothers.
But nobody asked you what you.
Black
you're the moderator, sir.
black
First of all,
black men and women, black boys and girls, men and women.
Today, yes, I agree with that.
Anger starts with their mothers. That's why they like their mothers. You notice how black men and women are angry, they're emotional, they have doubt. The black men are insecure, same as women are. I say that anger did not start with slavery, period, that it started with the mother.
are you married? You are, right?
No, not now.
Not no more. You're
I've
divorced,
never been.
right?
I've been.
You were married once.
I've been
Yes, you were.
engaged twice, but I ended them because they tried to take over.
With black women?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I can understand.
Yeah.
He's lying.
So you can understand why I didn't marry the black woman.
Well, see, I agree with you on. That's why I was saying. When are you
lying.
talking about it? Because if you're talking about today, I've always said that some boys that come out of single parent households. In my broadcast, I talk about how if you look at most of the people committing the crimes, they come from single parent households. I call them the bastard sons of single mothers.
Where's your
So you agree that
statistics on
anger?
Where's your statistics?
Oh, the statistics are easy to look up. Literally, if you look in jail, if you look at who does
where's
well,
our
and who-
fact checker?
you guys out there in YouTube land, look it up for her and put it in there. If you have never seen
What do
these
you put
stats,
in?
I'm shocked.
What do you put in? What's the top? What search for what?
There's Google, Google
what's the-
anything that would
what's
bring
the
up like
subject?
jail statistics, people that go into jail.
No,
Google
but you
how many
said
of them
that
came
come
from
one, mostly from one single parent
single
household.
mother household.
Single mother household, and that is there is a percentage for sure, because they're looking for the daddy in the street, the gang, whatever like that. I get that.
So you agree
But
that
there's
the
some
anger-
great, wonderful,
Oh, no, we're not discounting that there's some good ones.
amazing people who have grown up with single mothers and like 8 kids, 6 kids, and they look at their mom and wonder how the hell she did it. And then they get a work ethic in them that they see their mom have and have a desire in them to make life better, and they go on to do great, wonderful things.
But Luenell, that's
So
like discounting
everybody in
slavery
jail
because
don't
of
have-
abolitionists. That's like discounting slavery because they were abolitionists. So say, well, there are some great white people because they got them out of slavery. If I did that in front of black folks, they would go off on me and say, well, you trying to take
Black
up a
folks
white.
know there's good white folk, but there ain't a whole lot of you motherfuckers left.
So let me ask. So you believe that anger is coming from the mother?
Yes.
Yeah. And then why would you believe that it's from slavery if you know that it's coming from the mother?
There's a different time. That time right there, I don't believe that kind of anger that you see today comes from that. That type of anger today comes from a lot of abandonment. Not only the mothers are feeling abandoned and feeling like they've not been protected, but they don't know how to protect the children that they have, and they have them in the worst situations because they were had in a bad situation. It's just a big cycle now,
You
and it's degrading.
why did you ask me were the women that I were engaged to black?
Well, I was just curious because if you said that you're engaged but you didn't get married, because I have an affinity for black women,
And you're straight,
And I
right?
dated-
You're straight?
Yes.
and I dated a black girl recently, and it was the strangest thing that ever happened. She broke up with me.
Ever? Strangest thing that ever
Yes,
happened.
I didn't believe. Yes, because she broke up with me to become a sugar baby,
Oh, okay.
and then tried to come back and sell it to me.
What's a sugar baby?
Girls who go around and sleep with old men for money.
Oh, I see.
I've never seen anything. And then when I said something to her about it, she said, I don't care who know what I'm doing. It's 2018. Everybody's selling pussy. That was the words out of this woman's mouth.
Amazing.
And she's a college graduate.
Well,
And she probably paid for it selling that little pussy of hers.
No, at the beginning we were just
That's
dating.
what sugar babies do.
No,
a lot
at the
of times
beginning
get
we
that
were just
money.
dating.
Let me do this.
No, I'm saying.
Okay, we don't
the
want-
sugar babies a lot of times get
Oh,
that
she
money
paid for
for
college, yes.
So let me say this. I was surprised at the way women speak nowadays. I
Yep.
interviewed New York. That's her name?
Her
And
name
she-
is
Tiffany
Tiffany
Pollard.
Pollard.
Yeah. And the first word, and I told her this, the first words out of her mouth was shocking to me. And we have the episode coming up. I asked, why did Flavor not choose you as his wife or
You
whatever?
gotta call that man Flavor Flav. Get some soul in your
Whatever
voice.
it is.
You can't keep saying Flavor. Like I'm up here. You ain't Brian Gumble.
I never watched the show. I flipped through it. I've seen it.
That's
there.
Public Enemy. Fight the power.
Oh, okay. I said, why did he choose you as the wife? And she was like, Jesse, I was surprised too. And I said, I asked why, because I gave him the best head job that any of those women did. And I was shocked to hear, I'm shocked to hear you speak that way. And the same thing with that other woman with the slut walk.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. I'm surprised that women speak that way
Why
today.
would you be surprised though when you see it every day? That's one of the most
See,
disturbing
this
these
is
are
why
like
I know
older women.
Jesse's on that bullshit, because
is-
I'm like, why would you interview New York anyway? Unless you
Because she-
already knew what kind. You already know.
Oh, I did not know her.
You do
No,
research
not
on
true.
your your guests.
Listen,
If you don't,
Luenell,
you're lying.
Luenell, my producer knew her. I didn't know the woman. So my first time
But she
meeting her.
set you up.
All right.
You was hoodwinked, bamboozled.
No. She did give me a video on
Like-
it, so I did. Then I did the work before the show, but I never heard this
But
woman.
are you
why
honestly
was-
surprised
And I
at
was
the way the women
surprised
are
that
talking today?
Well,
Because they all
some of
talk
them-
like that.
Not all.
A great percentage
Do you
of
hang
them
around
speak
with
like
women
that.
that speak that way?
I don't have to hang around with them. I see them online. You just see what they put up online.
Online.
You can see how they speak to each other in company. Like I've been in places where it was
would you
just.
date a woman like that?
No, I don't like to hear women speak like that. It's irritating because that woman will make you beat her up or beat up a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in defense of my language, which I wanted to address your audience about, I have a college degree in English from Cal State Hayward, which was called Cal State Hayward back then. It's something else now. I write material for myself and other people in the comedy genre, and I'm known for doing blue comedy. I don't cuss like this for shock value. I talk like this because I have 4 brothers. I came from a long line of cusses in my household.
grew up in Oakland.
And I grew up in Oakland, California. It's just like speaking Spanish to me. You know, it's just like another language. But and I have good enough sense. I'm trying to say that if I were on CBS or ABC, which this is not, then I would not speak the way that I do. But on YouTube and on Jesse's show, I feel free to be myself. I apologize if I offended anybody out there, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck at the same time.
And so you respect CBS more than you respect me?
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Isn't that so black?
That's amazing.
Isn't that so black?
That's amazing.
Isn't that so black?
I respect you, Jesse. I respect you.
But isn't that how black people do it?
ABC, because they have the black
Isn't
president.
that how black people do it?
But isn't that what I just said? Well, didn't I say that earlier? I said what will happen is when you watch someone like one of the saddest displays of femininity is this dude named Iman Shumpert. His wife, they were on the Breakfast Club, and all she was doing was embarrassing the hell out of this man. Yeah, she's an attractive woman, Tiana Taylor, and this is this man's wife. And I immediately went onto my show and told them, this is what black men have to deal with. There's no way if she was dating a white man would she be on this show cussing every 4 seconds.
But I guarantee you she had that mouth when he married her.
Oh, yes.
He married her knowing her mouth was like that. So if that man, you know what I
Why would
mean?
black men put up with that? I would never put up with
It
that.
comes from if they
We
heard
don't
it in
know
the
why.
household.
It must be
That
right.
was what a strong woman is called. That's what a strong woman does. That's how a strong woman acts. And if you've been telling me this since I was a kid, why would I remember in
That makes
the
sense.
80s when I was growing up, what did they say? When you say something to a black woman about either attitude or something, well, get you a white bitch then. So you would tell me that you're not doing this for me. So that means I'm not worth it. But we treat each other like we're not worth it. We are nicer. We go to the interview. I've watched people interview with me. When they come to talk to me, they're very casual, like they're talking to me on the street. What's up, my nigga? You know, and I'm like, dude, this is an interview. But you wouldn't speak to a white guy like that. So why are you speaking that way to me? And we need to start having
That's
more
foul.
respect.
But see, you know
Like
what?
Luenell would do.
If you,
Isn't that amazing? I'm glad you admitted that.
If you were not raised, listen. I was raised in a white community, as you say you were. I was educated in all white schools from the time I got out of 3rd grade till the time I graduated college. Was like, you know, the 8th of maybe 12 black kids that graduated from my high school, and about the same in my college. If you are not exposed to white people, and you learn how to get the vernacular and how to tone down, and you know they're nervous and they're very jittery and high-strung, and if you don't learn how to speak in a manner that is something they can understand and not be threatened by, then you don't fucking learn it. If you grow up in Watts, you don't know how to go to Beverly Hills and switch the switch that you have to switch when you go across the 10 freeway.
Yeah, but why do you
understand?
respect them? Like, I remember
Right.
my grandmother and mother, and I don't know if you guys' parents did this. Whenever the bill collector or somebody would call, hello, and then when it was you, nigga, why you doing? And it was like just a complete switch. And
Okay,
we shouldn't
and-
but we shouldn't speak to each other with such like malice in our voices. And we do. We don't seem to respect each other. If
No,
you're
no,
trying to
well,
sell
well,
your
you
black
know-
product to black people, they want a discount.
Yeah.
They don't ask somebody else
You
for
know how
that.
many people ask me for free tickets?
See?
I'm like, I
Thank
don't
you.
even fucking know you. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I know that my grandmother was a strong black woman, didn't cuss. My mother was a strong black woman, didn't cuss. But I take after my father. And my father had a horrible mouth. And that's where I got it in the home, not even in the street, you know? And I think that also television
Yes.
perpetrating the superstardom of badly behaved bitches is what's making people accept it, think it's
Mimic
cool,
it.
Let me do this because of time. We have some questions and comments for you
Okay.
from YouTube.
This is from Cliff Edward, and he asks, why are most blacks still on the Democratic plantation and not smart enough to see what's going on?
You're
wanna
looking at
ta-
me?
Yes.
Probably because they're poor. Because when you're poor, you can't just jump over like that. You don't see the advantages. It doesn't pertain to you. That's my only
You want to
answer.
add to that?
They haven't been explained the differences truly. The ones who aren't.
We haven't been explained. the
Well,
difference.
he's talking about the ones who are still on
I'm
the
just
Democratic
saying, you
plantation.
guys
I'm not on it.
exclude
I've been
yourself.
explaining.
No, I get it, but okay, but
So I can't put myself
you
in there.
have to speak in that terminology, or you're excluding yourself from the black party.
Well, I have to exclude myself from the uneducated group.
excluded.
Because the uneducated, if you're saying why are blacks this way, but if I'm not that way, why would I say we? That's like if he asked you a
Because
question.
I am my brother's keeper, baby.
All right, this ain't cash money.
My brother's keeper.
That ain't G money. But listen, if you look at the reason why, if you've never been explained why something is a better option or even a real option, I think blacks, we need to treat politics like if you're dating.
Yeah.
You get a better date if you let people know, hey, I got a lot of people offer me that. What else can you offer? Or when I was a contractor, and when every job I got, I let them know, hey, I had other people offer me stuff and I got my best deal. Blacks are having a hard time getting a really good deal right now out of politics because we vote in huge numbers for one side. So they don't have to work to get your vote. That's why they work to get the gay vote. They work to get the Hispanic vote, but they don't work to get our
Right,
vote
they don't
because
have
they
to now.
assume they're
Yeah.
going to get it. And we need to stop
Another
them
one,
from doing
Kelly? Go ahead.
Mike Tactical asks, question, how can we make positive change in the black communities immediately? Be specific.
Take that one.
What's the question?
Go ahead.
How can we make change?
How can we make positive changes in the black community immediately and be specific?
How can we who? Are you white? Are you?
Yeah, I won't pass. Yeah, because I'm trying to. When they said you
How
asked the
can
general
we-
question and said be specific, she's right. What did
Yeah,
she mean?
you be specific. Right back. You black or white?
The way that we can change it is we got to change the morality of black people.
How though, brother?
We got to get black people to realize it's wrong to be so immoral and going along with what's wrong. Then we have to rebuild families.
Agreed.
Because the women and children need fathers.
Well, how do you plan
To
on
guide
doing
them.
that in the
But you can't do
next
that
6
today. Yeah,
years?
you can't do that
Well, in the
instantly.
next
So
year.
his question.
But we telling the truth about what's wrong, and I've seen it happen over the last 28 years. We tell them the truth about what's wrong with them, and some of those people, as individuals, will examine that themselves and see that yes, I'm wrong, and they'll start to change, and then they can influence the people around them. It's going to have to be one person at a time.
I agree. Give people better options. Explain better options to people.
Yes. Yes, Kelly.
This is on the subject of Amber Rose and the slut walk you guys were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Meme Therapy asks, does Luenell consider herself a slut?
No, but I'm a former one.
Reformed.
I did grow up in the 70s, and it was a pretty slutty time.
Are you a feminist?
I think in some respects, just
Like what?
like equal pay for equal play. I think that some of the wage scales should be more balanced. I feel that, don't want to see any women battered or anything like that. And feminists for that, and just for growing a backbone,
What's your impression of feminist?
I'm not a big fan of feminists, but I mean,
They're evil.
I would
How
pretty
you
much
gonna
go.
ask him a question and answer the goddamn question?
Because
for
he
him?
won't answer the question.
I did. I was trying to, because here's my thing. I don't like the fact that
Did you wince a little bit? You thought I was really gonna smack you.
My eyes went. Because I know black women.
Well, there you go.
And believe me, you don't want to slap me.
I would never do it on YouTube, baby.
You would,
I have
you
wanted
would
to
never
slap
do
you.
it, period.
I have wanted to.
It's a laid of the law.
You may
I
want
keep
to.
my hands to myself.
That's right.
Because that's how I believe in like femininity. I believe, yes, in equal rights, but as long as women want equal rights, they need to understand if they mess with me, they might get equal lefts.
Let's get one more.
What the fuck that mean?
Let's get one more time.
What are you talking
You want equal
about?
rights, you get equal
What the
lefts.
hell are you talking about?
Look, you can't. If, I
Woman
believe in
beater.
Yes.
Hashtag.
I'm not a
Man
woman beater. I'm a human beater. Y'all want equal rights,
Let
so
me
I'm gonna
tell
give you the same
let me tell you what
business.
type of beater I am. I wish a motherfucker would put his hands on me. You had the highest rated show you ever had in your entire fucking life.
But a
Wouldn't
man
have no
should.
studio
But
next
if a
week.
woman hit a man, shouldn't he protect himself
Equal
by,
lefts.
by hitting her back?
Yes.
He should protect himself. For
Right.
Sure.
No, he should slap the fire out of her.
I will full Nelson a woman in a minute. I will
Yeah.
DDT one. Bam.
When they play this at the police station, no, I had nothing to do with any of
She didn't
that.
curse it.
That be the new Me Too
one more,
movement. A bunch
one
of
more.
dudes are saying they do it too.
Hold on, guys. Go ahead, Kay. Go ahead.
The Iceman 2006 says, Tommy, I've been dying for a fatherless America to drop. We need it more than ever now. Do you have an updated release date?
Yeah, it should be next month. I don't know exactly because I'm tired of giving y'all dates and it don't come out. So when it come out, when it come out.
Now that's black.
That's right. It might not ever come out. I know what. I took the money and ran.
I read that. I saw that.
I paid my child support. That's what I did with it.
Wow.
Give me a yes. Let me see what I want. Yes or no. According to the Washington Examiner, black women who were born in America, 77% of the children are born out of wedlock. Is it wrong to have children out of wedlock?
Yes.
What do you say?
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. I got to ask you this about the Great White Hope. Let's get into a little politics. We're running out of time. The Great White Hope has been in the White House for a year and over half now. And do you agree with me that he's done an excellent job in making America great again?
America's not great, baby.
Is that an agreement or disagreement about the Great White Hope?
But America's not great
And why not?
because it's really in the shambles right now.
In what way?
The most obvious way is financially and racially. So, but no, I don't agree with you.
Do you agree with me that the president, the Great White Hope, is doing an excellent job of making America great again?
I think that in the last year and a half, things have been better than they were 8 years ago. And if we won't recognize them as a black man, I will, because we were unemployed at 22% clip under Barack Obama. And that has gone down. Now, some of it's because the people who are on unemployment, the numbers don't.
Yeah.
But I've seen more black men now be proud of the fact that they're working, whether it's in these Ubers or the DoorDashes or these jobs that allow people to run their own companies. I think that's probably, what's it called, a gig economy? I think that's one of the best things, because like you and I, we're like, we work and we get to dictate our hours and our money, and it's one of the most freeing things, and now more Americans are being able to do that.
I was doing that before he got in.
No, yes, but I'm saying, but a lot of people couldn't do what we were doing. Now a lot of people are able to monetize almost everything that they do, which is a great thing.
What you want me to say?
I ain't saying nothing wrong. Why you looking?
You should say amen to that.
Don't tell me when to pray and when not to pray. What's the next question?
Let me ask you this. Do you believe racism exists?
Yeah,
You have proof of it?
yeah.
What's your proof?
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon was a thug. That's not proof.
Trayvon was a 16-year-old boy coming from the store.
No, Trayvon was a
Dude,
16-year-old
Zimmerman
thug.
was a wannabe cop who called the police station because he was a volunteer neighborhood watch and called, complaining about every fucking butterfly flying through the complex.
Amazing.
And he was a trigger-happy motherfucker. And how come there's no witness?
Where's your other proof? Because that's not working.
I ain't ain't got to convince you of shit. I asked you a question. You asked me, do I believe in racism?
What?
Yeah,
Right.
I do.
And give me one more
I
example.
ain't got to give you shit.
Give me one more
No,
example.
I'm not going to play that game.
Give me one more
because
example.
There's millions of motherfucking examples.
Give me one more.
That racism exists?
Yes.
The murder and assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, the murder and assassination of Medgar Evers, the several million hangings that have gone on throughout history and continue today on college campuses.
That's amazing.
I'm going to stop right there.
So John F. Kennedy was murdered too, assassinated. Was that racism?
No,
And why not?
that was gangsterism.
Amazing. You believe racism exists?
Yes, of course it
You
does.
have proof of it?
I have my own personal proof as I was driving in here today.
Not
Driving
today.
driving a nice little two-seater Jaguar, looking good in it, rolling down the street. Some white guy, I guess he was mad. I don't know why. He just kept blowing his horn. He was, of course, driving a Hyundai. He followed me for blocks, blowing his horn at me. I don't know what I did to him. So I didn't understand. First, I didn't know he was even blowing at me. He gets beside me. He hits me with one of these for 2 more blocks, yelling fucking nigger out of his window. Now, why would he do that?
That's your proof of racism?
Well, that's just a small proof, a personal proof. I thought that my personal proof would trump me just trying to bring up
But why
something.
do you think it was because,
Why would he call me that,
you
sir?
because when people are angry, black people do that to black people when they're angry.
I've never had a
And
black
sometimes
person call me that.
you call that all the time on your
I
your
said
YouTube.
with an A.
But so do you? But you don't have any proof that was just road rage. The man was just angry. Do you have any proof?
Couldn't be
of,
road rage
of
because he wasn't
racism?
doing anything.
I have proof of racism, and it's called liberals. Liberals will treat black people like they're little puppies, and they said like they can't think, like they give them ebonics instead of telling them no, everybody should be able to speak the language the way they. So if that's not racism, I don't know what it is.
Didn't nobody
Liberals who
give
turn
us
around-
ebonics? We created
No, I'm
ebonics.
saying they called
Just
it that. That was a
when
white
you're-
professor
when
gave
you're
that
writing
name
on
to it.
But there are
Instagram.
black people in power who are doing that to blacks too. They're doing the same thing. Is that racism?
Yes, you can have racism against yourself. You can have the exact same thing when you believe that something's more superior than you. That's all it is, and when you enact it, that's all racism is.
But people tend to use other people for personal gain. And so these blacks who are allowing themselves to be used, they are
No, that's true.
being used because they won't take control of their own
That is true.
lives. And they're allowing themselves to be used by Louis Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, white liberals, the Democratic Party. I don't see the racism in that.
Well, it's when you understand this group is allowing you to be used, or themselves to be used, because they don't understand and they don't know any better, and you purposefully don't educate them. That's a problem. You have
that's
an
not
America that's
racism,
purposely.
though.
It's doing it to a race.
But the blacks are doing it to a race. They're doing it to their own race. They make sure that the
I just
black
told you
kids
that.
are not,
That's it too.
They are not educated. They make sure they go to the public schools, so they're not educated.
It's not that they make sure.
No, they
they
make
don't
sure.
understand the
Let me
difference.
ask. Can I interrupt? Let me just on a lighter note for a moment. Let's just play this wish game. If you could wake up tomorrow and you could be a white man, would you?
No, I love being me.
And what are you?
I'd like to do it for 24
But
hours.
what are you?
Why?
No, but what are you?
I'm Jesse Peterson.
See, he wants to say I'm a black man.
I am an American who happens to be black. My skin color doesn't matter to me.
No, I didn't ask what mattered. Because when they pull you
But
over,
turning white
your
is not
skin-
gonna make my life any better.
I just wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
I just would
Why
like to
would
do
you
it for
like to be
24 hours.
white for 24 hours?
Because, see, that guy was able to
a movie
elicit
about
something when he said something to me.
What did he get?
You know, in me, it bound to make me mad. Like, I wanted to do something, but I had to calm myself down. So, there's no word I can say to people that just really gets them that mad. And I just want to see what it's like. So for 24 hours, I would just walk around the streets if I was white. And I just walk up to people like the bus stop and be like, excuse me, nigger, can you tell me how to get to Watts? Just to see how it feels to see how a word that I say to someone can make them that mad. Because if I say it to a black person now, he'll just tell me the directions.
But if you didn't have anger, they couldn't make you mad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would just like to, I don't understand.
But if you were white and then someone said that to you, you would get mad if you have anger.
Oh, no.
Yes, you would. If you had anger and
What
you were a
words
white
do we
man,
have to say to them that upset them?
If you're a white
They don't
man,
like white privilege. Oh, they hate that.
if you're a white man and you're riding down the road and some black man ride by, give you the finger and call you a cracker or a redneck, and if you have anger, you will react to that.
To an extent, yes, because
So it
like
has
if he
nothing
had
to do
done
with
that
the
to me on
color,
a day, but we don't have a word that we can really say to people to piss them off.
But
We really don't.
Yes, you can. You do. White people get mad too.
But not for the same
Not for the
thing.
same- yeah.
The word nigga has
Has
such
a-
bad
that's all I'm saying, yes.
connotations attached
No,
to
it
it.
only
You can say
to-
that to a person that
only
ain't
to a
even
weak
angry, and they
person.
gonna get angry that you said that to them.
The word
because of the context.
That word has effect only to weak people. That word doesn't move me. I've been called
No, I
every
can
name
agree
in
with
the
that
book,
too.
and it doesn't move me at all.
Well, look, the Florida situation, when that guy got shot, I kept trying to tell people, his first reaction was as a woman, not a man. You do not go out and push anybody down. You didn't even ask what was going on. You don't do that to somebody.
Yeah.
But because of how he was raised and what he thought, emotion mattered more to him than logic. And if you're a man, you need to think logically
But
first.
do you agree with me that men who have anger, a woman, the anger of a man is that of a woman, and that it's unnatural for men to be angry?
You out your goddamn mind.
I can't believe you say that with all the wars that men
That's your
fight.
motherfucking mind. I'm not even. That's another one. I'm not even answering no shit like that.
Why
You
not?
can't say
Because I
that.
have the
You
right
can
to
either-
remain silent,
But you can either agree or disagree.
and I have the right to not say shit too.
Do you agree with me that the anger of a man is that of a woman, that it's abnormal for men to be angry?
No, because it's, men are supposed to be angry. It's just a real man at a certain point would be able to concentrate his anger. Because all the
Men
wars
are
we're fighting, you're not
supposed to be
fighting.
angry.
Yeah, you're not fighting a war because you're happy.
You
They
don't
do
think
that.
that you can fight a war without anger?
No.
Why not?
It's the same reason of a boxer. You can't get him in that ring and have him all happy. They won't even let that man have sex for like 6 months because they want him upset.
No, that's not why they don't let him have sex.
You give me
But
some sex
because
before a fight,
sex-
I'm gonna be out there giggling.
No, but it weakened him. And let me tell you this: if you didn't have anger, you could beat the person that has the anger, because the
No, that's true. That's why I said-
angry person is unconscious, whereas the person without anger is conscious. So let's say you're married, your wife is an angry person, and you're angry, and she's out of control. How will you help her overcome her anger if you're angry?
You see what the words you use. I said concentrated anger is good.
No,
Out of
no
control
anger is good.
That's one of
Anger
the
is
reasons why
evil.
Mike Tyson was great, because Customato taught him how to concentrate his anger. He really did. He said, focus your anger. Bruce Lee talked about the same thing. Focus your anger.
Anger is evil. You can't. Anger,
You're telling one of the greatest martial artists of ever.
Well, I don't know what he had to say, so I
He
can't
was too
comment on
busy
him.
watching the Partridge Family and shit like that, and he didn't see nothing.
No,
to do
my-
with Bruce
I have
Lee.
You're
one
literally
final
taking
question.
the anger from men? You're saying men should not
I'm
have
not
this?
taking it from them, but when they go and forgive their parents, because they got it from there, when they go and forgive their parents, then God will forgive them, and He will take it away, and give them back themselves, and then they can function in life without being controlled by situations. They overcome them.
If we are like our Father who is in heaven, who is God, one of the things that described God was what? Anger. I am an angry
not
God.
the kind of anger
He's a
that
jealous
you-
God.
He has anger. He has discernment, which lacks anger.
That's all
But an angry person is not a child of God anyway.
Where my
What?
purse? Your wife too might be going through my damn purse right now, and they like to do
Your
identity
husband has
theft.
it. Is that your husband?
Yes.
He has it. My final question.
Thank you, baby.
You mentioned Black Lives Matter earlier, and Black Lives Matter is a far-left, liberal, radical, agitated, evil organization that was built with black lesbians. Don't you like that word? Lesbians.
Yeah. You said it like it's a vehicle. I'm gonna give me one of them.
And black
You
homosexuals.
2018 lesbian.
Black homosexuals are radical white social justice warriors. And they're worse than the KKK. They were chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? Peas in the blanket, fry them like bacon." And Barack Obama, and right after that, blacks went out and started killing cops. Should Barack Obama have invited them to the White House or had them arrested?
He should have done exactly what he did.
And what do you say?
Well, if they didn't kill someone that you brought those people, you can't arrest them.
But they were encouraging them by chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops." And right after that, blacks went out and started killing cops.
Well, I would love
And
it if.
But they were
NWA just got
inciting-
inducted
I was
into
about to
the
say,
agree
you
that
have
they were-
what about music?
Do you
right.
agree with me that the Black Lives Matter were inciting that toward the cop by chanting that?
They never hung
and then
nobody.
being invited
You
to
say-
the White
you said
House.
They worship
Well,
the
if you're
Ku
gonna
Klux Klan. They never hung nobody.
Do you agree
Who
with me
pay,
that?
who pays all the people in
No,
the
no, no. I'm
like-
asking you. I need to get because of time. Do you agree with? Do you say that the president should have invited them to the White House?
They should arrest the head, the guy who's paying for him. What's his name?
No. Should the president have invited them to the White House?
But yeah, if you want to have a discussion with him, even dissenting voices, you must have a discussion with them to find out where their dissent is coming from and how you may be able to
And
change
you
their
think
mind.
that's what Obama was doing?
Oh, I don't know. You asked me about inviting them. You didn't
No,
say
you
about the
say
context
Barack
of the
Obama
discussion.
invited the heads of the Black Lives Matter to the White House to have a discussion.
He should
about
have
that.
invited the man who paid him
Just
when
like
he could have arrested
invited
him.
Earth,
He's
Wind, and
paying.
Fire, and just like
Amazing.
Why would you blame the Jewish guy who's paying them to do this? Because if there was no money in it, you think they'd still be doing it?
When you mean the Jewish guy who paid him?
Why is his
George
name slipping my mind? Soros.
I do blame them, but
That's what I'm
also-
saying. But he needs to be arrested. He's paying
my
him.
question wasn't that. My question was, should Obama have invited them to the White House?
And when I answered it, you went to something else.
See?
No, I didn't move
He
to
been
anything.
doing you like that
You
all
did.
night.
I
He been
answered. I
doing
said.
you like
I
that all
said
night.
they should be able to bring that. You said why? I said, well, if there's a dissenting voice, allow them to speak and find out where they came from. And then you started in something else. I was like, so if you believe they need to be arrested, then arrest George
Are they
Soros.
evil? Are they evil? Black Lives Matter.
George Soros is.
How about so? How about Black Lives Matter?
George Soros is he is. He's the if my kids come up horrible, you got to say who did it. If they're out there throwing things around at 10 years old, you would look at me as a parent if I'm the only one there. And George Soros is paying these people to be idiots.
Is the organization Black Lives Matter an evil organization?
I believe it's a dumb organization.
How about evil?
I don't like the word evil. I like dumb.
Oh, okay. Do we have time for one more for them? Okay, go ahead.
There have been a sprinkling of questions for Tommy, accusing him of not being himself. The Maddener says Tommy's not being himself. Freddie P says, "Who is this imposter?" Did you
You're
wanna
really not being
address-
yourself. Are
What
you
is
afraid
myself?
of her?
No. What is
They-
myself?
They wanted.
Y'all haven't asked me. Yeah, they wanted me and her to be a good fight. And we agree on a lot of terms.
Respond to the audience.
I don't understand. Like, I mean, when you say being myself, if you've ever listened to my show, you know that I'm on this side at times and I'm on this side at times. What I try to do is listen to what's right and what makes sense. I'm a logical person.
Are you
And I'm not-
wishy-washy?
if you want to call it that, because I'm not George Bush that's going to sit up there and say, even though what I did was wrong is right. If we have a problem with black women for being stubborn like that, why would you want me to come up here and just be stubborn
No,
like
I
that?
just want you to be you.
They want to be in me. Like when we
He
were
said he's
disagreeing.
wishy-washy. White people don't know what that is. Can you tell them?
No, I can't.
Do you know what it is?
I absolutely do.
And you won't tell the whites?
I'm not telling them shit. You tell them.
I want to know
Tell
what am
them
I
what
doing that's so
wishy-washy
different.
is.
They're trying to say that I'm waffling,
Yes.
but I want to know on what.
Everything.
You tell me what am I
Everything.
waffling? Nope, be specific.
You act like you're afraid of Luenell, to be honest.
I'm not afraid of
No,
anybody.
no.
We just had, even when
Like
we
you
were over there, I
went
kept saying we
soft.
got a lot in common.
good.
You went soft with Luenell.
Explain what you would expect
No
me
man
not to say. That's all I'm
ever.
asking. Just
Hey,
one of
that
them.
don't never happen.
I just would like an explanation. You can't
So-
just throw things out at me. That's like me
Watch the
attacking
video,
your
you
character.
see it.
No.
Yeah, you see it.
Everything I've said in
One
here,
last
I've said it on my show.
One last.
Well, you were
today,
just
I'm
asking
just
for-
confused.
You were asking for something specific. Somebody said that you're going easy on black women.
No, you asked me where the anger, I did not say the black women, I said they're combative. I said that
You
the
said
children.
the anger came from slavery.
No,
was
I
stunned
said
when
if you were
said
talking
that.
about today, you're asking a
No,
general
no,
question.
no. I asked you, where did the anger come
And
from?
I said some
and
of-
you said it came from slavery.
And I said, but
Now, I
today-
expect Luenell to say that.
Today
But
I
didn't
said
expect-
no, but I said, but if you're talking about the people today, I said it's
Whatever
these
that
single
means.
mothers, and then I went into what I say in my videos, which is you can look at where this starts. And then I said I call them the bastard sons of single moms. You're
let
acting
me-
like I didn't say any of that.
Can I interject, please?
Yeah.
This is see. It ain't. First of all, they don't know. We bonded from the moment we met.
Exactly.
The two of you did?
Yes.
You paid me.
So you
ultimate-
bonded with her before the show started?
Yes.
Amazing.
He pa-
Well,
paid
then
me-
your answer.
He
You
paid
have a
me-
spirit, and the spirit
He paid
sometimes
me
reaches.
ultimate
And so-
compliment and respect,
What
and I
did-
received that.
And so what was the compliment?
But with the
What was the compliment he
that he
gave?
appreciated my comedy, been a long time fan.
And so
That
he
was-
bonded with you?
That bonded me.
Y'all
a
want us to
little
fight? Why?
bit. Listen,
It has to
but
be
that's
something
what
for me
I'm
to fight.
saying.
Like you got
They
you got
want a reality show.
Wait a minute.
They want something.
how?
on
Because if
TV.
somebody
They,
said, I will
They
agree
just
with
wanna
anybody.
see us fighting.
Beta.
And we can agree to disagree.
disagree.
And we can agree on things.
One final
Sorry
last
you didn't get it, you bastards. Want somebody to sit there and fight.
one last one from the YouTube live, and then we got to close. That's it. So I got to ask, you have anything that you want to promote, any event coming up or anything going on? Books or anything?
On my website, heyluenell.com, HeyLuenell.com, you can look forward to my new CD, I Only Drink at Work. It'll be coming out, and you can order it on my website and see a little bit more about me if you don't know who I am, with clips and things like that, and podcasts and all that kind of fun stuff. Just visit my website, and has my tour schedule and everything.
How about you?
Same thing. Go to my website at Sotomayor ENT or TommySotomayor.com. Go pick up some shirts. Subscribe to the website. Check out the podcast and all kind of stuff in there. You can see if I'm being wishy-washy, and you can listen to my discussions. Last night, I was talking about the protection
You
of
have
black women.
bonded with this woman just by walking in
I
the room.
bonded with you, Jesse.
But-
Why do you think I come all the way out
Black woman,
here?
honey.
You
But-
asked me to
No,
come and I show
she's
up.
a-
The savage beast,
She
look
took
at
you
her.
away. But let me tell you this. I got to ask. I really appreciate both of you coming. Really, I do. And I know you came all the way. You drove in this morning. Did you
that
have
was
fun?
gangster.
Did you have fun?
Yes, I always have fun with you. That's why anytime you call me, I come.
Right on.
I'm surprised we don't go and get some drinks and pick up some women, some white women. We would.
Or boys.
Where are the white women?
Or boys.
My dog.
When are you going to have me on your show?
I've been trying to get you on the show,
You
Jesse.
pretended that you were going to read. You asked for a copy of my book. Give me a copy of your book, Jesse. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to have you on the show. That was a year ago.
Jesse, I keep
You
calling
know black
you,
folks
trying to get
don't
you on the
read.
show. You won't go on my show. You go on Tyree's show. You
keep
don't like
calling-
me.
You keep calling for me to come on your show?
Yes, you
That's
don't
why
like
you're
me.
saying-
Only way I can get
Who
in
did you
contact with you is
contact?
to send an email, and I
did
sent
you
an email.
contact?
We're done, right?
I think it was Kelly. Kelly, I asked was whoever
We're done,
emailed
right?
me.
We
I
all-
said I would like to have him on my show, and I
Yeah, hold on. We should one. I got to ask you.
fuck?
I did
I
not
want
get
you
the-
on the show. I want
Okay.
you to come on the show like tomorrow. Then how
I
about
would
that?
love to come on. I check with my
You won't give me
schedule.
your number. Y'all just want to give me his number.
But I want to come on.
See?
You said you were bringing me on.
Yes.
I'll find out who you contacted. I'll get on there.
See, I got to go
I
through
didn't
too
know
many
about it.
channels. If you,
Well, I have a
Oh, that's
I
schedule.
should be able to go
bullshit.
straight to you. You treat me
No,
like
I have a
See?
schedule because I get so many invitations. I don't want to book over
Oh.
something else.
you
So
go
that's
to
why.
Hollywood.
No.
There it is.
So let me ask. I appreciate you coming, Luenell. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was cool.
I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
All
thank you.
And I'm sorry he bonded with you and went along with you.
I'm sorry for you,
Oh, okay.
because we cool.
You gotta have something where, if it was that way, it had to be something put
If
together
I
where we
came on
disagree.
here, neck rolling and
Well, you were. Look at you.
snapping and all that, you might have something
Thank
to
you.
say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. I absolutely appreciate it. Let me hear
getting
from
a
you.
cut of this shit?
And
Fuck.
on the
This is a commercial you run
no,
during this?
we have coffee cups and mugs and T-shirts
Why
and
don't
all
you
that.
let Amber promote her own shit?
But people have been asking about the Slut Makers T-shirt.
I
They are
got
out there.
t-shirts at heyluenell.com.
And here the
mine
Slut
have
Maker.
Swarovski crystals on it.
So men and women are buying these things like 90 going north.
Now, if a man buys a Slut Maker t-shirt, you are indeed a bitch. I'm sorry, I
So,
said that.
here's the Slut Maker. Don't forget to
Slut
like,
Maker.
follow, tweet, comment,
At
subscribe,
Luenell on Instagram and
and,
Twitter.
and support
At
patreon.com.
Luenell. How much you make on your Patreon?
Thank you for coming, Luenell. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Goodbye. Thank you all for tuning in. I
guys.
appreciate it so much.
Sorry.
Y'all really versus the fight for
They
no
wanted
reason.
that bullshit.
Right.
Jesse, you full of shit. I'm not
No.
doing that. I'm grown. I don't fucking fight on
That was fun.
line and stuff
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah.